Why are you putting a stop date on it?
Just for a point of order here, because he just put a date that we're gonna stop in 12 weeks or 16 weeks or
Well,
something.
before we go running off with everything about this and stopping plowing and do what you're saying, why not we get to the bottom with these numbers?
We
'Cause
cannot
listen-
hold these
and
poor
listen, I
people-
just took a lot of time in putting these numbers together, and like the supervisor said, we've got 3 different numbers for 3 different years. Some of it puts the villages in the deficit, some of it puts them in the black.
I understand, but
There's
why
not
would we
a
curtail
consistency
service? Why
here.
would we threaten to curtail services? Why?
Why not just sit down and try
No,
to hash
he's
this?
threatening to curtail services. I'm saying no matter what, we're going to negotiate in good faith and
Just
never
sit down and hash
never
this
curtail
thing out like
services.
adults.
I'll bet you if we took a vote right now, we would vote not to curtail services. Would
As
you like to try?
attorney for the town, there is a reason to curtail services. I'm not saying that is necessarily the best decision or the worst decision. But what I'm saying is if it is a misappropriation of the town funds, then that is a good reason to curtail services. And it's important for the town to get to the bottom of that.
But Greg, with all due
determine the
respect,
status.
he cannot make a unilateral
I'm not
statement
saying
without the
he
board.
can. I agree
And that's
with the board.
exactly what has happened here.
I'm just saying, the supervisor has given a good reason for looking into the matter. Okay?
If it were true.
It's not per se illegal for the town to do the snow plowing for their roads, but this isn't a per se legal reason. It's a potential misappropriation of funds, which he's looked into as any good supervisor would do. And so.
But
so I
making
think
unilateral
that needs to be
decisions
looked
is
at.
not allowed. There's 5 members to
And
this
by the
board.
way, don't comment, Mr. Post, because you've rambled on long enough, and I don't appreciate you criticizing the supervisor for having done that.
There is no freedom of speech in the town of
Oh,
Palatine.
it's fine, you can talk, it's just if you criticize.
It's not a
affect you.
criticism, sir, it was
Citizens have
state.
the right to say something, even if it's
Mr. Attorney,
Actually, I have to be honest.
Unfortunately, I have to make a comment against
Yeah.
the supervisor. I'm not sure who runs your meetings now, because I've watched the videos and I've seen it now in person, okay? I thought the board runs the meetings and not your dual attorneys here. But I'm only making the comment, Mr. Attorney, that they are charging in the highway tax, which is listed as in and out.
I
So
don't disagree with that.
so
You
then if
may
you're
absolute-
charging-
you may absolutely be right on that point. But what the supervisor is telling you is they are unable to determine that in its potential misappropriation of funds. And they need to figure that out. So take my comment for what it was. There is a reason for that curtailing of services. I'm not saying it's the best decision. I don't like the problem that's caused between the villages and the town as a result, but I'm not gonna let the supervisor go without at least a defense on that one.
I'm not personally
Did they
not
do it
looking
wrong
to
last
end services, but Bill is
Yeah,
trying to do the
you're
right
not-
thing.
you're-
If there's
I
something
agree.
that has come up that he knows we haven't been doing it right, we need to correct it. And if it requires doing a legal agreement or contract with the municipalities, then that's what we need to do. But we have not decided that we're gonna stop services.
So then why has the supervisor said we're going to curtail services on January 1? If you haven't voted and I haven't voted and the 3 of us are in agreement we would not curtail services, then that's the majority of the board. So why does he get to make a unilateral decision?
He may feel
I
that
have
if
to
we don't
prepare
come
a
up with
budget.
an agreement that we.
No,
can-
you
I
can't
have
make a
to put-
unilateral decision.
I
Take a
have-
vote.
I have to prepare a budget.
Take a vote, Mr. Supervisor. If you really want this, take a vote.
I have to prepare a budget, and to prepare a budget, I have to know what figures are going into the budget.
You just
In
threatened this man
January-
of not giving him any services without taking a vote. Take a vote right now.
January 1
Take a vote right now.
is a
Chris,
new
you're out of line.
budget year.
I'm not out of
Can I
line.
ask one more question, Mr. Supervisor? If you find out that you are misappropriating funds, or whatever term you're using,
We have been.
okay, so in the future then, you're going to lower the village taxes because.
I'm not in charge of the village tax.
No, I'm sorry, the town taxes. You're in
Yes.
charge of the town taxes, and the town budget for years and years and years, and maybe your attorney should look at that, you have charged the highway in and out percentage the same for everyone in the town. And if you look up the law, and yes, I'm not a lawyer, okay? If you look up the law says if you are charging both in and out of highway the same tax rate, that's why you're providing in services to those villages. So if you're going to stop providing that service, then that means you are going to lower the village taxes. Because at current rate, you're taking more than what you would be doing as far as the service. And again, that is in the law.
You
It's
don't
not
wanna
me.
understand it, do you?
No, sir, I don't.
I don't know whether through the years, the town has taken too much or they haven't taken enough. We don't have that separation.
Yes, you do, because
We
you've
need
taken the
that
same.
separation.
It's in black and white. You've taken the same.
Well, I don't care if it is in black and white, Jim. What you have to look at is the bookkeeping that's gone on here before I got here. If you need 6 tires for a truck, and they were in the inside or outside of town fund that had a balance, that's where the check was taken from. Those figures lie. They are inside and outside, even though the budget was set out that way. And that's what we have to correct. We have to know what they are.
I give you kudos for outlasting me. You're not right in what you're saying, but you continue to talk. Thank you for your time.
You got it. Yes.
You did at the last meeting with us state that no villages in New York State plow.
To the best of my
towns
knowledge,
Plow the village streets.
without an agreement.
No. You didn't say anything about agreement.
Look at
I
my
watched the
letter.
video.
Look at my letter.
I watched the video. I have called many villages. Cherry Valley plows the village, town of Cherry Valley plows the village streets.
Do they have an agreement with them?
Nope,
Mm-hmm.
nope,
I didn't know it.
they do it. Other towns that I have talked to said they do it, or villages, they do it on their own, but the town helps them out.
Mm-hmm. We would be more than
And I
happy to
have
help
read
them.
also that if the town has a school district in their villages and towns, you can look it up,
Ames?
no, a school district. We have Fort Plain,
Oh, yeah.
we have Canada Harry,
Mhm.
correct?
Mhm.
You are responsible for taking care of the roads. If I'm not reading this wrong, in the law. I have called.
I don't understand you.
I have called Albany, Syracuse, Utica. None of them say it's a law that it is illegal for the village, for the town to plow for the village. I have
I am not
called,
referring to a statute. I am not referring to a legal statute.
you said
I
it was
am
illegal.
I am referring to the misappropriation of funds.
Alleged. You don't even know if it's.
And what you did say it was illegal. To do village.
It is,
Yes,
under
that's
common
what you
law,
said.
case law.
And you asked me to ask my attorney, and I did ask him, and I did talk to him. And, he straightened me out on it, that he didn't, say that it was, he said he would look into it. I said, I'm not paying for you to look into it, I'm searching it myself. And, a lot of the towns and villages, what they do is like, if they plow, the villages plow, then town supplies the sand and the salt at no cost. No cost at all to the village. And I mean, you just can't, now, I think Sean gave us quotes on salt and stuff like that and different things at the last meeting.
As in, like, what we pay now?
What you got off the website,
Oh, that was for the spreaders. That was just a common thing for the salt spreaders itself that would slide in the back of the truck. That was just one website I quick jumped on and all I did is Google
I
it.
had talked to somebody and they said that came off of the site for, it's, the state and the FEMA site. for
Oh,
what you pay.
the numbers, you mean the hourly rate? Yeah, that's,
And that's for renting.
yes, that's rental
That's for
agreement for the
rental
vehicles.
agreement.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a rental agreement for the truck or the cabin chassis itself, Then there's a rental agreement for, in this case, it falls under dump body,
Right.
because our spreaders slide in the dump body, and then there's a rental rate for the V-plow.
But they said the only rental rate is for FEMA and the state when there is an emergency. That's
Well,
what they
yes.
stated to me.
But when we have to do a cost analysis, this is what we have to go by. And that's all we were doing, is a cost analysis. What it cost us per hour to run that truck.
But the thing of it is, you can't give us what it costs to do that truck. You said there was, what, 84 times, I think, he said he comes and does Nelliston. And, if you times that by, what is it, 160, it comes out to a couple $100. So, I mean, we need the figures of what it really actually costs you to plow for us. The village does.
You want the figures?
I want the figures.
All right. It's $33.53 per hour to run that truck. The truck and equipment is, for the 84 times, $7,125.13. The salt, at $66.50 a ton, comes out to $16,758. The hourly wage for the guy to run that truck 84 times comes out to $4,128.88, for a total cost of $39,200. Or no, that was two towns. But anyways, all total for the two villages is $21,561. Because all they did is take the total figure, and that's actually counting the other pickup with Artie coming down here and checking the roads. For a total cost of $43,122 divided by two villages. Comes out to $21,561.
You can't do it that way. You gotta do it by road mile. You can't just.
I don't have the village miles,
2.54 and 1.65.
but I didn't do that. I didn't have that at the time, so I just split it in half.
So, are you saying, Sean, it costs us
Those are actual numbers.
5 times as much to plow a village road than we're getting paid for the county roads? With a truck that's usually larger, bigger consumption, bigger payload.
Why do you think the town superintendents are trying to lobby the county to pay more money per
Well, the other
mileage?
thing is too, if we accept that contract for that, we have to give them the same mile contract. We can't change apples and oranges. We're taking one group of taxpayers and trading them for another.
I'm just saying, you got, if it's 1.6 and 2.5, then I can readjust the numbers. But I didn't have the numbers at the time, so I just split it by 2.
Okay. Well, we'll give them to you. It's pretty easily available to find their roads.
Can you tell me how many miles is on the new truck that you bought?
How many miles are on what?
Your new truck that you bought last year in January?
No, I don't have
I'd
that
like
number.
that information.
Artie would have that number.
Alright. I would like that information. Okay,
You all set?
I'm all set.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Paul Spencer. Thank you for recognizing me, Mr. Supervisor. Sean, Councilman Cotton, I have a tremendous disagreement with your numbers. According to the figures that I worked up, this is just the town of Palatine. I did not take the time to do Nelliston.
New Village of Palatine.
To do 80, I got 82 or 84. It's a big number. It's 1.65 miles in the town of Palatine, or excuse me, the village of Palatine. I took the time to leave the highway barn, drive to Palatine, drove every street, did it both ways, including Failing Hill. And I'm not sure how we have a Failing Hill.
Failing Hill's done with the big truck.
By what money now? Because that's a
The
split
outside
road.
highway.
That's a split road, right? And that, what I
If it's
understand,
split road or not.
doesn't I understand the line goes up the middle of that road?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I really don't know,
Okay,
Paul.
let me finish my point. I come up with a number here of 15 miles. When I leave the highway barn, do all these streets, both ways, and return to the highway barn, come up 15 miles. Okay, give it extra mile maybe. You take actually a mile off if we don't do Failing Hill. You said we do that with the big truck, but who's responsible for the money? That's the thing. If we don't do it, it takes 1 mile off of that truck, so we're down to 14 miles. That comes up to 1,230 miles per year. Okay, in 10 years, that's 12,300 miles. How in the heck do you come up with that amount of money? Okay, the truck that we're talking about, or the trucks that we're talking about, I understand have got 50 or 60,000 miles on it. Where the hell's that other miles come from? Does somebody jack the wheels up and let it run all night or something? You're billing the town, billing the village for all the mileage. You're not, I don't think you're even taking in the respect of the fact that the truck that you are going to trade in or whatever, sell or whatever, has a resale value. I don't think you've got your depreciation correctly. I'm just talking the truck value. I'm not talking about the fuel use and the driver and all that. I'm just talking of the truck itself. That, to my numbers, comes up, that truck only gets used about 1/5 of its life in 10 years doing the village. So that takes that truck down to $1,000 a year to own it. That's allowing some trade-in or scrap salvage value or something. So where do you come up with these artificial numbers? I don't care Sean, I don't care what
They're
these
not
numbers show.
artificial
I'm
numbers.
telling you what that truck does. That truck did 60,000 miles, but only 1,200 or 12,000 went to the village.
These are all hourly rates. They
I don't
have nothing
care.
to do with mileage. It has nothing to do with mileage.
I'm talking about the use of the truck.
We're not talking use of the truck. I'm going
I'm
by
just-
what the hourly rate is. That's
Fine.
what I went by. Not mileage rates, not truck worth, not none of that
But
stuff.
that's,
Hourly
okay,
rates.
you're using the wrong numbers.
No, I'm not.
You
Right
are-
here,
I
New
don't
York
care.
State numbers.
You are talking about two different situations here.
This is
Let
what
me-
you
let me
have to
go on.
go
Let-
by for
just be
reimbursement
quiet. I'm not
rates.
done yet. Let me go on. There was a remark made at the special meeting, I think it was. Well, what about talking about refunding money to these townships if they gotta plow their own roads? Well, somebody mentioned, and I'm not gonna mention the name, well, what about the people who live on Route 5? Well, okay, what about the people who live on Route 10? What about the people who live on Route 67? Okay, this is Pandora's box if you ever wanted to come into one. I got another one for you. What about the people who live on Stone Arabia Road, Hickory Hill, Brower Road, McKinley, to name a few of the county roads? We're already paying tax of $57.50 for the county to plow those roads. Yes, the town doesn't, but we're already paying that tax. Now we gotta subsidize that tax because it costs theoretically more to plow the roads. Follow me? So why don't we just change everything, get rid of shared services and go back to the old ways and everybody do just their own? You ever think about that one?
If everybody
You
went back-
cannot use those numbers to do cost estimates for these two villages. You cannot use those numbers, because otherwise that truck would last 100 years. 12,000 miles a year? Why are we buying diesels to run 12,000 miles a year? A diesel truck costs you $10,000 more than a gas truck.
You mean 12,000 over 10 years? Your numbers indicate 12,000 over 10 years.
Over 10 years, yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I got written here.
Right.
1,200 for a year, 12,000 for 10 years, 12,300. That's for the village of Palatine. The Nelson would be just a teeny bit more, because they got an extra mile. When I did these roads, Sean, these mileage are exact. Because I went up, down every street. They're easy streets to plow, there's very little curves. Well, maybe they're not easy, because you're gonna rip up lawns if you're not careful, so, I'm not sure. But they're wrong. You can't go by the book in some cases. You've gotta use the old goddamn thing that they say, common sense. Common sense would tell you that you are wrong. And common sense would tell you, Mr. Shop Supervisor, you have opened a Pandora's box if you ever did. You got unknowns there. You don't have the idea, you don't know what machinery is about. I've listened to you and listened to you and listened to you. You do not know the maintenance and taking care and the upkeep of machinery. You don't have any true concept of depreciation, scrap value, or whatever. You want to scrap a piece of machinery because you got to put some pins in it at $2,000 to $4,000. Couldn't quite grab it. Okay, I'm done. And you've done enough, Cheryl.
Anybody else? Yes.
I just have a question, because you started off the meeting saying that you were really confused about, and I don't know what the answer is always, I don't understand all of it, so I don't know the figures or any of it, but you started off by saying you were very confused by the 3 different sets of figures that you've been looking at. What I wanna know is, since you're confused by it, how are you going to get to the bottom of it? What services are you gonna utilize? How are you gonna find out the answer to this question? Because we're all confused, and it's caused a lot of problems. I think you unilaterally just saying we're not gonna plow as of January 1st, I think is just a heated remark that you made. That doesn't help anybody, but I really am seriously wondering how you're gonna get to the bottom of it.
We have to identify the costs for plowing and salting the 2 villages. We're separating those out. Artie has a very thorough diary, and those have to be what we use to come up with the cost of those 2 villages. And then we have to figure out which services the villages are gonna continue to do and which services we're gonna continue to do. And whose trucks we're gonna use, whose equipment, who's gonna store the salt. It's quite a lengthy process. But at the end of the day, when this is all over, with all 3 entities working together, I think we'll save money for the town of Palatine and we'll save money for the 2 villages. But it won't work arguing about it.
No, and it doesn't help
No.
to make closing the door statements that were made tonight, that they were unnecessary. And I also felt it was unnecessary for the attorney to tell a citizen who's voicing his complaint and his opinion that he's talked enough and been quiet. I don't
He's
think
not
that
a
was fair.
citizen, he's the mayor of the village of Palatine. and this
It's
is
too
also
bad.
An issue with the board, he's not here as a citizen, he's here as the executive. And he criticized our town supervisor and criticized him for rambling on, and
It's
he
okay
did the
for a
same thing.
citizen to.
He's not a citizen, he came and he told everybody here that he was representing the board and that they were all in agreement on it, so he's not a citizen, and you know that
They talk